Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a generally upward trend with recent volatility. The RSI consistently hovers around 70, indicating slightly overbought conditions, but not significantly so. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased price volatility and potential for further movement. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy focusing on short-term momentum and breakout opportunities. We will implement a tiered approach, leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. First, we'll initiate a long position at $119,300 on July 25, 2025, coinciding with the first forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. The stop loss will be set at $118,600, just below the recent support and the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. Our initial target price is $120,200, aligning with the forecast for July 26, 2025. If the price reaches this target, we'll move the stop loss to break even at $119,300. If the price continues to rise, we'll set a second target at $120,600 for July 27, 2025, and subsequently adjust the stop loss to the previous target. This strategy combines the momentum indicated by the forecast with the volatility suggested by the Bollinger Bands, while the stop loss protects against unexpected downturns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a strong uptrend, consistently breaking through resistance levels. The RSI consistently above 70 indicates an overbought condition, but the continued price increase suggests strong buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands have widened, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. I would enter a long position at $3,760, coinciding with the forecast price on July 25, 2025. A stop loss would be placed at $3,580, just below the recent support and a significant historical price level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price would be $3,860, aligning with the forecast for July 27, 2025. To refine the strategy, I'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 70 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, consider a secondary entry at $3,770, with a stop loss at $3,610 and a target price of $3,950. This leverages potential pullbacks within the uptrend. The overall portfolio will prioritize the primary long position at $3,760, allocating 60% of capital, and the secondary entry at $3,770 with the remaining 40%. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the prevailing bullish momentum while incorporating a safety net for potential corrections. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP exhibits an overall upward trend, recently approaching the resistance level of $3.55. The RSI consistently hovers above 70, indicating overbought conditions, with peaks nearing $89. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within the bands, with recent price action pushing towards the upper band. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $3.35, with a stop loss set at $3.25 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is $3.5, aiming to capture a portion of the upward trend. To further optimize returns, we will implement a trailing stop loss strategy, adjusting the stop loss upwards as the price increases. Once the price reaches $3.5, we will move the stop loss to $3.3. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the stop loss further to protect profits. The final target price will be $3.6, allowing for additional upside potential. This combined strategy leverages the strengths of both RSI and Bollinger Bands, providing a balanced approach to capitalize on XRP's upward momentum while managing risk effectively. The strategy is designed to generate high returns by identifying entry points during temporary dips and capitalizing on the overall bullish trend. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a clear uptrend, consistently hitting new highs. The RSI values have been mostly above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and recently reached overbought levels above 80, suggesting a potential pullback is imminent but not a trend reversal. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, confirming increased volatility and the price trading near the upper band, further supporting the bullish outlook. Given this, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on potential short-term dips within this uptrend. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. The strategy will involve entering a long position when the RSI falls below 40, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Based on the forecast, a potential entry point could be $768. The stop loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $765 to protect against a potential downside breakout. The initial target price will be the previous resistance level of $784. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to break even at $768 and set a second target price at $787 based on the forecast. This approach aims to capture gains from short-term pullbacks while benefiting from the overall uptrend, maximizing returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits a strong upward trend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, reaching $205 and currently hovering around $188. The forecast for the next week predicts continued upward movement, peaking at $196. Given the RSI values consistently above 50, with recent excursions into overbought territory, above 80, the momentum is clearly bullish. Therefore, my strategy is to capitalize on this trend with a long position. I recommend entering a long position at $188, placing a stop-loss order at $182 to protect against a potential retracement, and setting a target price of $196 to capture the forecasted upside. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been fluctuating within the bands, and nearing the bottom band suggests a potential buying opportunity. However, given the strong trend, I will prioritize the momentum strategy. Therefore, the final portfolio will be 80% focused on the momentum strategy, long at $188, stop loss at $182, target at $196, and 20% on a Bollinger Band strategy, buying when the price touches the bottom band, setting a stop loss just below the band, and targeting the middle band. This blended approach leverages both momentum and volatility to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a volatile trend with recent upward momentum. The RSI consistently above 60 indicates a strengthening bullish sentiment, peaking at 85.0, suggesting the asset is approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, indicating increased volatility, and the price has been fluctuating around the center band. The support price remains steady at $0.201, while the resistance has been tested and broken, currently at $0.236. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on potential pullbacks while maintaining an overall bullish outlook. My recommended strategy is a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will enter a long position at $0.241 when the price retraces slightly after the recent surge, aiming to catch the upward momentum. The stop loss will be set at $0.232, just below the recent low, to protect against a potential downside reversal. The initial target price will be $0.274, near the previous resistance level. If the price reaches this target, we will reevaluate the situation. If the RSI remains above 60 and the price stays above the Bollinger Band center, we will set a new target price at $0.282. This strategy aims to leverage the current bullish trend while managing risk with well-defined entry, stop loss, and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a generally upward trend, bouncing between the support price of $0.309 and the resistance price of $0.318. The RSI has fluctuated between 59.5 and 83.8, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will look for opportunities when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 20, indicating an oversold condition. Therefore, I recommend entering a long position at $0.319, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. Place a stop-loss order at $0.309, just below the support level. Set a target price at $0.324, aligning with the upper end of the forecast range and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward movement while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop-loss. If the price breaks below $0.309, exit the position immediately to prevent further losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano exhibits a clear uptrend, breaking through the resistance price of $0.823. The RSI consistently above 60 indicates bullish momentum, nearing the overbought level of 80, suggesting a potential pullback but not an immediate reversal. The Bollinger Bands show the price moving above the upper band, confirming the upward trend and indicating potential for further gains. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $0.845. We will set a stop-loss at $0.812, just below the recent support level, to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price will be $0.891, aligning with the previous resistance level. To maximize returns, we'll implement a dynamic trailing stop-loss. Once the price reaches $0.891, we'll move the stop-loss to $0.854, securing partial profits while allowing the position to run further. If the forecast continues to show positive momentum, we can consider raising the target price to $0.902. However, if the RSI falls below 60 or the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will close the position at $0.854. This strategy combines trend following, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band analysis to achieve high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Stellar shows a mixed trend with periods of strong upward momentum followed by corrections. The RSI consistently exceeds 70, indicating overbought conditions for most of the observed period, particularly on July 11th, 12th, and 13th. However, the recent decline in RSI to below 60 suggests a potential shift towards oversold territory, presenting a buying opportunity. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of high volatility, with prices frequently touching or exceeding the upper band, which aligns with the high RSI readings. The forecast for the next week anticipates prices hovering around $0.47 to $0.48, suggesting continued upward pressure. Therefore, my high-return investment strategy for Stellar is a momentum-based approach combined with RSI and Bollinger Bands confirmation. I recommend entering a long position at $0.424. Given the recent oversold signal and the forecast price, a conservative stop-loss should be placed at $0.40. A primary target price can be set at $0.482, aligning with the forecast high. For a more aggressive target, consider $0.487, coinciding with the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward momentum while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop-loss. This portfolio is efficient because it combines the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sui shows a slight upward trend with price fluctuations around the $3.8 to $4 range. The RSI values have been oscillating around the 60 to 75 range, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and consolidation. Considering the recent price action and the forecast, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will implement a strategy based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. When the RSI falls below 30, we will enter a long position. The entry price will be $3.82. The stop-loss price will be set at $3.49, just below the support level. The target price will be $4, coinciding with the recent resistance level. To maximize returns, we'll combine this with Bollinger Bands confirmation. If the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, it signals a potential buying opportunity. We will enter a long position at $3.82, placing a stop-loss order at $3.49. If the price rises and touches the upper band of the Bollinger Bands, we will take profit at $4. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to identify high-probability trading opportunities. This portfolio should achieve high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, the graph shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the support price of $0.0991 and approached the resistance price of $0.116. The RSI is fluctuating between 54.2 and 76.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price swings. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy with a focus on capitalizing on the upward trend while managing risk through strategic stop-loss and target prices. I suggest entering a long position at $0.103. The RSI is currently at 54.2, which is below the oversold level of 20, indicating a potential buying opportunity. Place a stop-loss order at $0.0991, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $0.116, aligning with the resistance level. If the price reaches $0.116, consider taking profits or moving the stop-loss to break even to protect gains. This strategy combines trend following with RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Optimism shows a recent downtrend but with signs of potential stabilization. The price has bounced off the support level of $0.611 and has tested the resistance level of $0.749. The RSI is currently fluctuating around 53.1, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is nearing the lower band, potentially signaling a short-term rebound. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.706, placing a stop-loss order at $0.688 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.749, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI drops below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider entering a long position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss just below the lower Bollinger Band and a target near the upper Bollinger Band. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, suggesting an overbought condition, we will consider a short position at the current price, setting a stop-loss above the upper Bollinger Band and a target near the middle Bollinger Band. Combining these signals with the current trend, I suggest a long position at $0.706 with a stop-loss at $0.688 and a target at $0.749. If the price breaks through $0.749, we can reevaluate and potentially increase the target price. Based on the historical data and forecast, Curve Dow demonstrates a clear upward trend, supported by consistently increasing prices and a forecast projecting further gains. The RSI readings have fluctuated but generally remain above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been moving towards the upper band, suggesting continued upward pressure. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. The initial entry price should be $1 on July 25, 2025. To manage risk, set a stop-loss at $0.95. The target price for this trade should be $1.08, aligning with the forecast for July 31, 2025. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, consider a buy, and if it exceeds 70, consider a sell. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it suggests a potential buying opportunity, while touching the upper band may indicate a selling point. Combining these indicators, the portfolio will be more efficient. For example, if the RSI is below 30 and the price is near the lower Bollinger Band, a buy order at $0.98 with a stop-loss at $0.95 and a target price of $1.06 would be an ideal entry. This blended approach leverages both momentum and volatility signals to maximize returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum name service exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has consistently moved above the support price of $23.7 and approached the resistance price of $28.8. The RSI indicates periods of overbought conditions, above 80, and has recently retreated, suggesting a potential pullback before further upward momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the upper band, reinforcing the idea of a possible short-term correction. Therefore, I propose a strategy that combines trend following with opportunistic pullback entries. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, with an entry price of $24. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $23.7 to protect against downside risk, and the initial target price will be the resistance level at $28.8. To maximize returns, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $28.8, we will move the stop loss to break even and adjust the target price to $30.5, based on the forecast for July 31, 2025. If the price fails to reach $28.8 and the RSI remains below 30, we will exit the position at $24, minimizing losses. This approach combines the benefits of trend following with risk management and incorporates the latest forecast data to optimize potential gains. This portfolio is efficient because it considers the trend, RSI, and Bollinger Bands. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a generally upward trend, bouncing between the support price of $0.309 and the resistance price of $0.318. The RSI has fluctuated between 59.5 and 83.8, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will look for opportunities when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 20, indicating an oversold condition. Therefore, I recommend entering a long position at $0.319, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. Place a stop-loss order at $0.309, just below the support level. Set a target price at $0.324, aligning with the upper end of the forecast range and the upper Bollinger Band. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward movement while mitigating risk with a well-defined stop-loss. If the price breaks below $0.309, exit the position immediately to prevent further losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Conflux has shown significant volatility. The RSI has been fluctuating between oversold and overbought levels, indicating a potential for price swings. The Bollinger Bands have also widened, suggesting increased market uncertainty. Considering the recent price action and the forecast, the trend appears to be cautiously bullish. The support price of $0.106 provides a floor, while the resistance of $0.223 caps the upside. The forecast prices for the next week are generally trending upwards, albeit with some fluctuations. We will implement a combined strategy incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to maximize potential returns. Our strategy will involve a long position with an entry price of $0.141. Given the RSI nearing the oversold level and the price approaching the lower Bollinger Band, this presents a favorable entry point. We will set a stop-loss order at $0.135, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.163, aligning with the forecast price and a reasonable profit margin. If the price breaks above $0.163 and the RSI moves into overbought territory, we will adjust the target price to $0.175, capitalizing on the upward momentum. This strategy balances risk and reward, taking advantage of the anticipated bullish trend while incorporating safety measures to protect capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH demonstrates a strong upward trend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast for the next week indicates continued growth. The RSI consistently remains above 70, often exceeding 80, indicating overbought conditions, but the bullish momentum remains strong. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been consistently trading above the upper band for a significant portion of the observed period, reinforcing the upward trend. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $4,040, placing a stop-loss order at $3,890 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $4,190, aligning with the forecast for July 30, 2025. To optimize returns, we'll implement a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $4,190, we'll move the stop-loss to the entry price of $4,040, securing a risk-free profit. If the price continues to rise, we'll adjust the target price to $4,240, corresponding to the forecast for July 31, 2025. This approach allows us to capitalize on the ongoing bullish trend while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss adjustments. This portfolio combines the strength of the upward trend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a strong uptrend, consistently breaking through resistance levels. The RSI consistently above 70 indicates an overbought condition, but the continued price increase suggests strong buying pressure. The Bollinger Bands have widened, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. I would enter a long position at $3,760, coinciding with the forecast price on July 25, 2025. A stop-loss would be placed at $3,580, just below the recent support and a significant historical price level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price would be $3,860, aligning with the forecast for July 27, 2025. To refine the strategy, I'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 70 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, consider a secondary entry at $3,770, with a stop-loss at $3,610 and a target price of $3,950. This leverages potential pullbacks within the uptrend. The overall portfolio will prioritize the primary long position at $3,760, allocating 60% of capital, and the secondary entry at $3,770 with the remaining 40%. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the prevailing bullish momentum while incorporating a safety net for potential corrections. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena exhibits a clear upward trend, consistently breaching resistance levels and showing strong momentum. The RSI values have largely remained above 60, indicating bullish sentiment, with recent values above 70 suggesting overbought conditions, but without triggering a significant reversal. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, further reinforcing the bullish outlook. Our primary strategy will focus on capitalizing on this trend, employing a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. We will initiate a long position at $0.471, placing a stop-loss order at $0.432, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. Our initial target price will be $0.494, aligning with the upper end of the forecast range and a reasonable profit target based on recent price action. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands for dynamic adjustments. When the price approaches the upper band, we will consider taking partial profits to secure gains. Conversely, if the price retraces towards the lower band while maintaining an overall upward trend, we will view it as a buying opportunity to add to our position. Specifically, if the price dips to $0.47, we will add to our position, adjusting the stop-loss to break even. A secondary target price will be $0.495, reflecting the highest forecast price. This combined approach allows us to maximize potential returns while effectively managing risk, leveraging both momentum and volatility indicators for optimal performance. Based on the historical data and forecast, Maple Finance demonstrates a downtrend with recent price fluctuations. The support price consistently remains at $0.416, while the resistance fluctuates around $0.494. The RSI values have generally been below 50, indicating a prevailing bearish sentiment, with dips below 39.8 on July 23, 2025, suggesting potential oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been oscillating within the bands, recently approaching the lower band. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My strategy involves a buy position when the RSI falls below 20, and the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, indicating an oversold condition. The entry price would be $0.386. A stop-loss order should be placed slightly below the support level at $0.39 to limit potential losses. The target price would be set at the resistance level of $0.494, aiming to capitalize on a potential bounce back. This strategy aims to capture short-term gains from the anticipated rebound after an oversold condition. This is a high-risk, high-reward strategy suitable for experienced traders.